I never thought my life could get even more complicated. For a simple girl like me, all I ever wanted was a peaceful life where I was in control while protecting my own space. But everything turned out the other way. Every time I moved away from toxicity, it crawled back at me, seeping through my veins. And that toxicity stopped when a girl angrily called me one random night and said, "Pay for your husband's hospital bills." I paused for a moment due to confusion. I don't have a husband. Or did I? I am Judy, and follow me as I unveil how my life drastically changed after a random phone call. I was sitting at my favourite spot in the house, the balcony. I am reminiscing about the most devastating and life-changing day of my life. 9 years have come and gone since that fateful day. The day that had shattered my life into fragments I could barely comprehend. I got into a very terrible car accident. I couldn't vividly picture what exactly happened, but I only knew that I woke up in a hospital bed. The impact scene was completely slipped off my mind, but the pain and trauma it caused me remained embedded into every corner of my brain. The accident had been a nightmare, a collision of metal and destiny that left me scarred in more ways than one. Once a reliable support, my left leg had become a constant reminder of the chaos that had unfolded on that unforgiving road. Aside from the post-traumatic disorder I acquired and was diagnosed with after the accident, I also had a terrible injury on my left leg, causing me to limp while walking. However, I did my best during my therapy sessions and fortunately it healed. But there were still times when I could still remember the throbbing pain. So imagine, there would be nights when I would have nightmares while sleeping, panic attacks and sudden depressive episodes. I realised so many things while I was on my recovery. I realised that I could handle myself on my own. So I decided to stay single and not involve myself in romantic relationships. But time had a way of tempering even the sharpest of pains. However, at 35 I stood firm as ever, intelligent, hardworking, humble and resilient. My understanding of nature had always drawn me to the mysteries of life, and despite the hardships, I had managed to thrive. I fully recovered from my injury and am so happy living in the present. I am not worrying much about the future. I just focused my attention on my thriving career and was very content with my chosen life. A life rich with accomplishments, particularly in my blossoming career. Aside from that, I am also content with the love and support that my parents gave me. They have been my pillar of support and strength. They stood by me when I was struggling with pain and trauma. They served as a rock, my cornerstone, and now I dedicated all my efforts to them. I spoiled them and treated them the way they deserved. Also, I am very grateful to have a significant and genuine support system from my friends, especially my best friend, Trish. We connected deeply, and she told me we had always been close. It feels like the two of us are woven into the fabric of existence together because we were so connected that we could be friends for good, or enemies in the long run. Nonetheless, she has been my best friend for just as long. After my accident, she has been one of my anchors. She never left my side and was with me through the darkest time of my life. Our paths had always been intertwined. We were two peas in a pod, but time had revealed a darker side to her. I could not comprehend how her hatred towards me started, or if it had always been there, and she was faking her good treatment towards me. And yet, over time, jealousy clung to her like a shadow. But I paid it no mind, because after all, she was my friend. The subtle hints of her jealousy were bothering me, but I tried my best to shrug it all because I wanted to respect the bond we had for each other. Trisha is a year older than me. Due to our closeness, it also happened that we were co-workers, and she was already married, unlike me. who is still enjoying the single life. But despite our closeness, she still refused to reveal things to me, even the most important ones. For example, her husband. The face and entire life of her husband remained a phantom in my world. His overseas work had kept him at a distance, and whenever I asked about her husband, Tricia would divert the topic and sometimes get annoyed at me. I am so curious as to why she would act that way. Moreover, our bond does not translate much towards my parents. There was a boiling tension that simmered between my parents and Tricia. The reason for their hatred remained shrouded in mystery, leaving me in the uncomfortable position of trying to keep two conflicting worlds from colliding. And with that, I could not bring Tricia to family gatherings or any celebration because my parents disapproved of my friendship with her. Judy, that girl is a fake. I know you have also noticed that, but her deceptions blind you. She is not a true friend. But Mommy, she is still my friend. She has been with me throughout my struggles, and I value her for that. Dearest, that is not a measurement of true and honest friendship. She was at your lowest, but will pull you down when you're at your highest. That statement from my mother stung like a bee in me. It feels so real. Tricia has been a good friend, but I couldn't deny and disregard the signs of her inner hatred towards me. Aside from that, Tricia would keep on pushing me to entertain guys, and that I am already old enough to get married. But no matter how often I tried to explain to her that the single life was comforting, she would still insist on getting me into a relationship. Her attempts were relentless, and she orchestrated blind dates that left me feeling trapped and cornered. It was as if her jealousy had taken control, compelling her to disrupt the tranquility I'd cultivated. She knew all too well that I was happy alone, and she would still force me to go on blind dates, and whenever I showed up to one, it would be another awkward moment. My parents' disapproval did little to sway my determination to keep Tricia in my life. Her presence was woven into my history, an enduring connection I wasn't ready to sever. Yet, her insistence on thrusting me into the world of romantic entanglements was a sore point. I cherished my peace, the freedom that allowed me to focus on my work, and the last thing I desired was to be pushed into a realm of unfamiliar emotions. And with that, the tension between her and my parents grew like a gathering storm, an ominous precursor to the chaos that would soon envelop my life. I told you, that girl only wants to destroy you. She is not even respecting everything that you want and your boundaries. Mum, it is okay. She wants me to be happy through a relationship with her. No, that girl is deceiving you. But I stood between all of that. I still became the band-aid that prevents anything from falling apart and from wounding even more. However, my mother's statements came true. I got a promotion from our boss, and I am now a supervisor, and technically, Tricia is now under my authority. She was one of the candidates who applied for promotion, and it just happened that I am the one who got the job. And at that moment, her jealousy sprung. It became evident, and she was unafraid to show it to everyone. She spread rumours about me paying the boss a large sum, and worse, she let our co-workers believe that I seduced our boss into getting the promotion. She gave off a winning aura, twisting her smile into something strained and unnatural, making me feel defeated and held in a chokehold. It is evident that she yearned for the things I had achieved, harbouring an almost palpable envy. A friend turned adversary, and she had grown adept at disguising her resentment with a fake friendship. I tried to confront her, but the moment I talked to her, it seemed like she was no longer my friend. Tricia, We need to talk about these rumours. What's going on?
Rumours? Judy, you know how people are. They twist things and blow them out of proportion.
Don't play games with me, Tricia. These rumours damage my reputation, and I deserve to know the truth.
You're right, Judy. It's me. I started those rumours.
What? Why would you do something like that?
Oh, come on, Judy. Don't act so innocent. You know exactly why. It's payback for stealing the spotlight all these years.
Stealing the spotlight? Tricia, I've never tried to overshadow you. We're friends, not rivals.
Friends? Oh, please, Judy. I've watched you excel while I've remained in the shadows. I wanted everyone to see you for who you are.
Tricia, I can't believe you're admitting this. Our friendship meant nothing to you.
Friendship? It was just another way to show off how much better you are.
Tricia, I thought we were there for each other all these years. I thought we were supporting one another.
You were naive to think that, Judy. I've always resented you, and this was my way of getting back at you.
I never thought you could be this vindictive, Tricia. You shattered my trust in ways I can't even comprehend.
Oh, spare me the dramatics, Judy. You'll survive without your precious reputation.
You're right about one thing, Tricia. I will survive this. But I won't let your jealousy and bitterness define who I am.
Huh, whatever, Judy. Do what you want.
I will. And that starts with cutting toxic people out of my life. Goodbye, Tricia.
Good riddance, Judy.
Unable to bear the toxicity any longer, I made a life-altering decision. I fled that city, leaving behind the pain and the suffocating grip of Tricia's manipulations. A new town became my sanctuary, where I could rebuild my life on my terms. The simplicity of my surroundings brought a sense of renewal. I felt like I was breathing fresh air for the first time in years. Despite the distance, Tricia's cruelty persisted. Her hatred seemed boundless, her determination to tarnish my name unwavering. She used my image on dating applications, luring unsuspecting victims into her web of lies. I was so shocked when many people called my number and sent me hateful messages telling me I was a catfish and that I ditched them on our dates. That's how I found out about her trying to embarrass me and using my name and face on social media. And the worst, these men even asked for sensitive photos of me. I have known the truth of this late, and Tricia has already tainted my identity all this time. Shame and embarrassment became my unwelcome companions, and emotional wounds she inflicted cutting more profound than any physical scar. Then, a sudden cessation of her torment. The silence was unsettling, an eerie calm after a storm. I knew something was off. I heard news that she went abroad and left the city to settle with her husband. For a brief moment, I enjoyed the calmness and silence. But I was intimidated by it, and I was right about it being temporary, because a new problem arose. During this lull, a random call came. It was just an ordinary night when I received that call, which genuinely altered the course of my life. Hello, who is this?
You need to pay for your husband's hospital bills. I can't believe you'd leave him in this condition.
I'm sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. I don't have a husband.
Stop lying. I'm your niece, and I know what you've done.
Niece? I was hoping you could wait a minute. I don't have a husband, and I don't recognize your voice. What's going on?
You really don't remember, do you? You left my uncle, your husband, when he needed you the most. Now he's in the hospital, and you must pay for it.
I'm sorry, but there must be a misunderstanding. I've never been married, and I don't have a husband.
Are you serious? You honestly don't know who I am?
Yes, I'm serious. Can you please explain what's happening? Maybe we can figure this out.
I'm your niece, Emily. My uncle, your husband, had an accident and is in the hospital. The bills are piling up and I found your number in his contacts.
Emily, I don't know what to say. I don't have a husband and never had a niece because I am an only child. The conversation unfolded like a dream, the girl's anger giving way to shock as I adamantly denied having a husband. Her claims were staggering. Legal documents, undeniable proof of a marriage that had slipped through the cracks in my memory. But I completely denied everything because I don't know any of it, not as much as I remember.
This can't be right. I have your name here and I don't understand.
Emily, can you tell me more about your uncle? About my supposed husband? Maybe we can piece together what's going on.
I am so confused right now. Can we meet and talk about this? I badly need help.
I agreed with her, and we met first thing in the morning. As the truth spilled out, piece by bewildering piece, I learned that I had indeed been married at 26, and the accident from 9 years ago caused me a terrible memory loss. My head hurt so much because of racking it to remember everything. And then, when everything started to make sense, it felt like I was living in a lie. The amnesia that had claimed my memories, it all fell into place. Emily told me that her uncle had an accident with her wife, a day after their wedding, and I am that wife. I was so confused about everything that I called my parents, and they came immediately. I wasted no time asking them about the truth. My husband's body had never been found, leading to the assumption of his death, and he is a foreigner in our country, so it is hard to trace him. The trauma had been too much for my parents, who'd hidden the truth from me, and they don't want me to suffer from that traumatic event ever again. And for them, it is best that I would lose those bad memories. But it is unfair. It was my husband. I should have known about it earlier. And then, in a cruel twist of fate, I came face to face with the man I had unknowingly lost. I took the courage to see him, so I booked a flight to where he is right now, and I didn't know my world would entirely fall apart as I saw him with Trisha. She stood by his side, tending to him as he lay in critical condition. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place, the reality more surreal than any nightmare. Trisha's husband is my husband. That explains why she would never tell me any details about him, because it is my husband all along. She had stolen him from me, driven by an obsession with my husband. The revelation hit me like a tidal wave, the shock, confusion and anger all mingling into a potent mix of emotions, until my husband's soft voice tried to explain, to bridge the gap of lost years. He had been taken from me, hidden abroad as part of Trisha's twisted plot. The man I had loved had been kept from me, all orchestrated by my trusted friend. And the shocking truth, she has been in love with my husband from the start, and she was the one who planned the accident. The weight of the truth settled heavily on my shoulders, crushing me with its gravity. Trisha's motives were bare, her jealousy and malice all unveiled in the harshest light. She had manipulated my life, robbed me of love, and spun a web of lies that had trapped us all. Her arrest was a form of poetic justice, culminating in years of pain and betrayal. As I navigated the storm of emotions, my stolen memories began to return like puzzle pieces clicking into place. My husband's recovery became my mission, a path to redemption after the years that had been stolen from us. Trisha's reign of darkness was coming to an end. Her web of deceit unravelled. And as my husband healed, his strength returning daily, the satisfaction was undeniable. Our love, stolen by Trisha's jealousy, was rising from the ashes. With every passing moment, as I cared for him and held his hand, I found a sense of closeness and a new beginning. The triumph over adversity was sweet, and the revenge in its way was a balm for the wounds Trisha had inflicted. In the wake of Trisha's arrest, the chapters of my life began to turn with a new-found purpose. The haze of forgotten memories cleared, revealing the intricate tapestry of my past obscured by lies and manipulation. My husband's presence became a source of strength, a testament to the enduring power of love that had survived years of deception. As I stood by his side during his recovery, I marvelled at the resilience of the human spirit. His strength mirrored my journey from the depths of despair to the pinnacle of triumph. With each small victory he achieved, a sense of hope blossomed within me, rekindling the flame of love smouldering beneath the surface. As Trisha's trial loomed, I found myself grappling with conflicting emotions. Anger and betrayal mingled with a deep sorrow for her chosen path. It was evidence that her insecurities and jealousy had led her down a dark path, a path that had consumed her and ultimately brought about her downfall. While I couldn't excuse her actions, I couldn't help but recognize the tragic figure she had become. The courtroom drama played out like a script from a movie, and the satisfaction of seeing her face justice was a bitter yet necessary pill to swallow. As the gavel fell, sealing her fate, a sense of closure settled over me like a warm embrace. The weight of her vendetta lifted, leaving room for healing and growth. She was sentenced to life imprisonment, and I know that she deserved it after all the cruelty that she did. With Trisha's chapter closed, a new one began for my husband and me. Our love story, once marred by tragedy and manipulation, now had the chance to flourish in the light of truth. Together, we sifted through the fragments of our past, piecing the missing years and relishing in the simple joys of rediscovery. The stolen moments we had lost were now replaced by a future that held the promise of shared laughter, tears, and unbreakable bonds. As my husband's strength returned, so did our shared dreams. We mapped out plans, rekindled passions, and embarked on a journey to rebuild what had been unjustly taken from us. The support of friends and family, who had rallied around us during the storm, became the pillars of our foundation, reminding us that love could weather even the harshest storms. With time, the scars of the past began to fade physically and emotionally. The shadows that had once clouded our lives gave way to the warmth of genuine companionship. Trisha's legacy transformed from pain to a poignant lesson about the fragility of trust and the power of resilience. Just like Judy, how will you face a tragic circumstance? Will you fight for justice or become a victim of it? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and turn the notifications on for new videos and more updates.